Subscribe. MTL World at Mittel World 1 YouTube channel. Swallowed Star 2 Origin Continent. Chapter 253 The God King, Original Ancestor. 32nd of Volume 6. In a tavern within Huyang City, in one of the small buildings, Hong sat alone, drinking fine wine and enjoying delicious food. After coming to the Origin Continent, I finally realized that there are heavens beyond heavens, and understood the insignificance of my own existence. Hong smiled as he watched the many practitioners outside the window, each controlling various flying treasures. In the original universe region of his homeland, excluding the original ancestor and the giant axe, Hong was the 23rd true god of the human race at that time, even a bit faster than Luo Feng in becoming a true god. Of course, Luo Feng intentionally stayed at the universe master stage for a long time to pursue a higher level of the divine body, ultimately achieving the perfect divine body. However, Hong's talent remains incredibly dazzling within the human race. Many predecessors, seemingly having become true gods earlier than Hong, have actually spent far more time in their cultivation. Besides Luo Feng and the original ancestor, there have already been 11 members of the human race who have ventured through Reincarnation channel to arrive at the Origin Continent. And I am the 11th. Hong had only just arrived at the Origin Continent and found everything to be new and strange. The prosperous Huyang City, with its diverse life races and various factions, has so much for him to explore. Void True God, Eternal True God, Chaos Sovereign, God King. Hong thought. The God King is further divided into 3 realms, and the emperors and monarchs of the 2 ancient nations are comparable to the ultimate realm of the God King. Above the ultimate realm of the God King, there are the ancestors of the 2 nations, the ancestor of the East Ji domain, Di Qing, and the Lord of the Galaxy. Third brother, oh. Third brother, have you already reached this? Many forces in the Origin Continent are unclear, but Hong, Peng Gong, Chaos City Lord, and the original ancestor, and other powerful beings of the human race, all know very well that the Lord of the Galaxy is Luo Feng. In his hometown, Luo Feng is known as the ancestor of the galaxy. It hasn't been long since third brother came to the Origin Continent, and he's already above the God King. Hong was quite shocked. Back when he was still the Lord of Yumu, he was already invincible in the entire universe C. After becoming a true god, he dealt with the crisis of the boundary beasts. In such a harsh cultivation environment as Universe C, he was able to become an eternal true god. Coming to the Origin Continent, he completely soared to new heights. Hong sighed deeply. Back then, Hong was the Grand Master of the Extreme Martial Arts School. And Luo Feng was just a young warrior. Later, Luo Feng gradually grew step by step and even helped him and Thunder God Lei Shen. Hong asked himself, in the harsh cultivation environment of the original universe region, the main reason why he was able to become a void true god, break through the reincarnation cycle, and arrive at the Origin Continent, was due to Luo Feng's assistance. Without Luo Feng, the original ancestor would never have been released. Among the entire human race, only Chaos City Lord has some chance of being able to survive reincarnation on his own. Hong, in terms of innate talent and understanding, wouldn't even make it into the top 5 among human groups. Only after coming to the Origin Continent, did I realize how many strong people there are. There are geniuses from the Origin Continent, the countless geniuses nurtured by small universes, and the geniuses who come from 3,000 original universes through Reincarnation channel. Hong thought. Compared to them, I'm quite mediocre. For any human beings who are able to transcend reincarnation and come to the Origin Continent, Luo Feng has prepared the highest standard of cultivation resources, so their cultivation goes very smoothly. But Hong, Peng Gong, Guanming and the others all understood that they were counted exceptionally gifted in their hometown. But in the Origin Continent, even becoming an eternal true god is quite challenging for them. Hong suddenly received a message, and upon reading it, couldn't help but show a look of joy. The original ancestor has become a god king. Hong was quite excited. After coming to the Origin Continent, one can see that the original ancestor's talent is far superior to that of other human powerhouses. Hong immediately stood up. Your Excellency, are you satisfied with your food? The attendant outside the small building asked with utmost respect. Hong's strength was negligible in Huyang City. However, as a core disciple of the Daohe sect, the merchants of Huyang City did not dare to be negligent. Hong casually paid the fee, then waved his hand to steer the flying boat, swiftly heading straight for the headquarters of the Daohe sect. Daohe sect headquarters, the cave dwelling of the original ancestor. At this moment, the powerful figures from the human faction are continuously arriving. The outside world is saying that the Lord of the Galaxy has an old servant, an ultimate realm beast. It should be Elder Morosa. Luo Feng has been in seclusion recently and hasn't seen anyone at all. But when we came to the Origin Continent, it was Luo Feng himself who personally guided us. When the human powerhouses gather together, they will also talk about Luo Feng and Morosa. Lord of the Galaxy, an old servant ultimate realm beast. For human warriors, it's really quite thrilling. They actually have that can be called the thick thighs. After practicing on the origin continent for 800 years, I've finally become a god king. The original ancestor smiled at his companions around him. Of course, I can become a god king, thanks to Luo Feng's assistance. You can't become a god king only relying solely on resources, talent and comprehension are more important. Luo Feng said with a smile. Among the 11 powerful beings who came from the human races, only Chaos City Lord became an eternal true god, while the others are merely void true gods. This clearly shows the gap in potential. Even after reaching the first level of the God King realm feels quite difficult for me, and I encounter many confusions along the way. The ancestor shook his head. The path of cultivation is truly becoming more and more difficult. The human race experts listened attentively from the side. In name, you are all part of my lineage. The ancestor looked at the human race's strong warriors. Now that I have become a god king, I can arrange some official positions for you. If I arrange some positions for you now, there won't be any objection within the Daohe sect. After becoming a god king, the original ancestor's status in the Daohe sect will naturally risen significantly. Practice is not just about secluded meditation and contemplation, holding official positions, handling affairs and engaging with other strong practitioners is also beneficial for your cultivation, said the original ancestor. Yes. All the human warriors responded. Luo Feng's gaze fell on Huo Chong, and he asked with a smile, Huo Chong, you've been on the origin continent for over 100 years now. How's your cultivation going? To reach the eternal true God, I still need to accumulate a bit more. Huo Chong said respectfully. Focus on your cultivation. Once you become an eternal true God, I will publicly accept you as a named disciple. When you reach the chaos realm, I will publicly accept you as a personal disciple. Luo Feng looked at his disciple with anticipation. If his strength is weak and forcibly chosen as a named disciple or a personal disciple, it would be harmful rather than beneficial to Huo Chong. Nowadays, being an ordinary core disciple means having all the resources you need, and Luo Feng even personally guides them. The disciple understands. Huo Chong replied. Seeing this, the original ancestor also smiled and said, if anyone has any confusion in their cultivation, feel free to speak up. Luo Feng, Elder Luosa, and I can guide you all. Morosa is also known as Luosa. The human race experts were immediately overjoyed and began to ask questions one by one. Yuan Zhu, Luo Feng, and Luosa will each start to explain in detail based on their own expertise. Because their issues are generally at the void true God and eternal true God stages, it is easy to see the differences between Luo Feng, the original ancestor, and Morosa. Luo Feng has the most solid foundation. Special inheritance for cultivation, repeatedly creating high-level secret techniques from low-level realms, with a very deep understanding of the fundamentals. The party finally dispersed, leaving only Luo Feng and Yuan Zhu. Listening to your sermon, I have gained a lot. Yuan Zhu sighed, in terms of fundamentals, I can't compare to you. In the infinite space, I had the opportunity to obtain several top-tier inheritances. Under the guidance of these top-tier inheritances, my foundation has been solidly forged. Luo Feng said with a smile. Original ancestor, I have also prepared a gift for you. Oh. Yuan Zhu was surprised. Luo Feng flipped his hand and took out a silver token. This is a token to go to treasure land or the infinite space. Luo Feng said with a smile. Not long ago, I discovered this token within the territory of the Galaxy Kingdom. Infinite space tokens appears randomly on the origin continent. Therefore, the wider the territory, the easier it is to obtain such treasures. Infinite space token. Yuan revealed a look of surprise. Given his status and position, he could access many secret pieces of information from the Daohe sect, and naturally, he also knew about the treasures scattered across the origin continent. Infinite space places the highest importance on the aspects of mental will in opening the great Dao. Ancestor, you are cultivating the two paths of reality and illusion, Luo Feng said. The real world has the accurate world origin Dao as a reference. But the illusory world does not have this Dao. The entire origin continent might only have the infinite space treasury where you could find some legacies that would be helpful to you. Luo Feng, you've helped me too much. The original ancestor was quite grateful. At first, Luo Feng had to go to great lengths for opportunities. Now, he can easily pave the way for the original ancestor. In terms of cultivating human powerhouses, my energy is limited, and many times I need the ancestor to put in more effort. Luo Feng said. For me, and for the entire human race, the stronger your strength, the better. The ancestor looked at the token and felt a surge of warmth in his heart. He became a god king by comprehending a branch of the world's origin Dao. After all, with detailed references, breakthroughs are much easier. The illusory path. The original ancestor encountered too many obstacles and is now completely confused about the branches of the illusory path. This is the infinite space map. Luo Feng casually pointed, and a stream of light flew towards the original ancestor. It also marks my current location. Once you arrive in the infinite space, you can quickly meet up with me. There are various forces competing for the native creatures of the infinite space. My spiritual will has already enveloped 12 local creatures, and I can hand them over to you. Luo Feng said. Okay. The original ancestor held the token, and with a single thought, he used the token to send a strand of consciousness to the infinite space. Luo Feng was quite looking forward to it. In his view, the original ancestor's research on the illusory path would also be excellent in terms of spiritual willpower. By opening up new Daos, he would also receive rewards from the infinite space. With infinite space, the original ancestor should be able to go even further. Luo Feng thought. He has helped everyone with everything he could, but ultimately, a practitioner's achievements depend on themselves. Blank. End of chapter. Subscribe. MTL World at Middle World 1 YouTube channel.